Once upon a time in the world of video games there was a king. This king was Nintendo and their hero was Mario. Sega, another big company, really wanted to compete. They had a mascot named Alex Kidd, but he just wasn't as popular. Sega knew they needed someone new, someone cool, and someone super fast to challenge Mario. So they held a competition inside their company to create a brand new character. They wanted a hero that would capture the hearts of kids all around the world and show everyone what Sega could do. This new hero had to be the total opposite of Mario. He needed to have attitude and be ready for action. Many ideas were pitched for this new mascot. There was a rabbit that could pick things up with its ears, an armadillo, and even a caricature of Theodore Roosevelt in pajamas. But one idea stood out from the rest. It was a speedy blue hedgehog created by an artist named Naoto Ohshima. This character was originally called Mr. Needlemouse. He had sharp quills, a cool grin, and a can-do attitude. The team at Sega loved this design. They thought a hedgehog was a unique choice for a hero. It was different from anything else out there, and that was exactly what they were looking for to make a big splash in the gaming world. The design of this new hero, now named Sonic, was very deliberate. He was given the color of Sega's own logo, a bright and bold blue. This made him instantly recognizable. His shoes were inspired by Michael Jackson's boots from the Bad music video, with a splash of Santa Claus red for a bit of fun. Everything about Sonic was designed to appeal to kids in the West, especially in America. He was meant to look rebellious and cool, with a bit of an edge. Programmer Yuji Naka worked hard to make sure Sonic could move at incredible speeds, something no other game character could do at the time. So the stage was set. Sega had their new hero, a blue hedgehog with red shoes and a whole lot of attitude. In 1991, Sonic the Hedgehog was released on the Sega Genesis, and it was an instant hit. The game was all about speed. Players would zoom through levels, rolling through loops and bouncing off springs. It was thrilling and completely different from the slower-paced platformers of the time. Sonic wasn't just a character, he was a statement. He showed the world that Sega was here to play, and they were ready to give Nintendo a real run for their money. The blue blur had arrived, and the world of gaming would never be the same again. After the massive success of the first game, Sonic's popularity exploded in the 1990s. Sega didn't waste any time and quickly started working on sequels that would make the series even bigger and better. In 1992, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 came out, and it introduced a brand new character, a two-tailed fox named Miles Tails Prower. Tails could fly using his tails, and a second player could join in the fun, which was awesome. The game was even faster and had more amazing levels. Then came Sonic CD with its cool time travel mechanic, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which brought in Knuckles the Echidna, Sonic's tough-as-nails rival who could glide and climb walls. These new characters made the world of Sonic feel much larger. Tails was the loyal best friend, Knuckles was the cool rival who sometimes became a friend, and soon we met Amy Rose, a pink hedgehog with a giant hammer who had a massive crush on Sonic. Each new character added something special to the story and the games. Fans loved collecting Chaos Emeralds and watching Sonic transform into the super powerful, golden Super Sonic. The 90s were truly Sonic's golden age. Every new game was a huge event, and kids everywhere couldn't wait to see what adventures Sonic and his friends would have next. Sonic's fame wasn't just limited to video games, he became a true pop culture icon. There were two hugely popular animated TV shows in America. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was a zany, funny cartoon where Sonic and Tails were always outsmarting the silly Dr. Robotnik. Then there was Sonic the Hedgehog, often called Satam by fans, which was a much darker and more serious story. In this show, Sonic was part of a group of freedom fighters trying to save their world from the evil clutches of Dr. Robotnik. These shows gave Sonic a voice and personality that fans absolutely loved, making him more than just a character on a screen. On top of all that, there were the comics. Archie Comics started a Sonic the Hedgehog series that ran for hundreds of issues, becoming one of the longest-running comics based on a video game ever. These comics expanded the lore even more, introducing tons of new characters and telling epic stories that went far beyond the games. From lunchboxes and backpacks to action figures and t-shirts, Sonic was everywhere. He was the king of cool, a symbol of 90s attitude, and the face of a generation of gamers. For a while it seemed like nothing could stop the blue blur as he raced through the decade at top speed. As the 90s came to an end, the world of video games started to change in a big way. New consoles like the PlayStation and Nintendo 64 brought gaming into the third dimension, or 3D. Sega knew that Sonic had to make this jump too. Their first big attempt was Sonic Adventure, released in 1998 for Sega's new console, the Dreamcast. This game was a huge leap. For the first time, players could explore fully 3D worlds as Sonic. He also had a voice and was part of a much bigger, more dramatic story. The game was epic, featuring multiple playable characters, each with their own unique abilities and storyline. Sonic Adventure and its sequel, Sonic Adventure 2, were very popular and are still loved by many fans today. They introduced iconic moments like Sonic outrunning a giant truck down a city street and the debut of the dark and mysterious hedgehog, Shadow. However, bringing Sonic's speed into a 3D space was really tricky. Sometimes the camera would get stuck in weird places, and controlling Sonic at high speeds could be difficult. While these games were ambitious and fun, they also showed the challenges that Sega would face in keeping Sonic's gameplay feeling perfect in this new dimension of gaming. Things got even more complicated for Sonic when Sega made a very tough decision. After the Dreamcast, Sega decided to stop making their own video game consoles. This was a huge change. It meant that for the first time ever, Sonic games would start appearing on consoles made by their old rivals, including Nintendo. It was strange but also exciting to see Sonic on a GameCube or a PlayStation 2. However, this period was also a bit rough for our blue hero. Games like Sonic Heroes and the 2006 game Sonic the Hedgehog received mixed reviews from players and critics. Many felt that the games were losing what made the originals so special. They had complicated stories, lots of new characters that weren't as popular, and sometimes glitchy gameplay. It seemed like Sonic was struggling to find his footing in this new era of gaming. He was still the fast, cool hedgehog we all loved, but his games weren't always hitting the mark. Sega kept trying new things, like giving Sonic a sword in Sonic and the Black Knight, or turning him into a werehog in Sonic Unleashed. Some ideas were fun, but fans missed the simple, pure speed of the classic games. Sonic was still a legend, but he was going through a tough time. Just when some people started to wonder if Sonic's best days were behind him, he came speeding back into the spotlight. Sega listened to the fans who missed the classic style of gameplay. In 2010, they released Sonic the Hedgehog 4, a game that went back to the 2D side-scrolling action of the originals. Then in 2011, they released Sonic Generations, a fantastic game that celebrated Sonic's 20th anniversary. In this game, modern 3D Sonic teamed up with his classic 2D self, and players got to race through remastered levels from his entire history. It was a huge hit, and showed that Sega had found the perfect formula. This comeback continued with more amazing games. Sonic Mania in 2017 was a love letter to the 16-bit era, created by passionate fans and Sega. It felt just like a lost classic from the 90s and was praised by everyone. Then Sonic Frontiers took a bold new step, placing Sonic in a huge open-zone world that players could explore freely. It was a fresh and exciting take on his 3D gameplay. These games proved that Sonic could still be incredibly fun and relevant in the modern age, whether he was starring in a retro-style adventure or a brand-new groundbreaking one. But the biggest surprise was yet to come. Sonic raced onto the big screen with his very own live-action movie in 2020. After fans reacted poorly to the first character design, the movie studio listened and completely redesigned Sonic to look just right. The result was a massive box office success. The movie was funny, action-packed, and full of heart. It introduced Sonic to a whole new generation of kids who may have never even played his games. The sequel, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, was even bigger, bringing in Tails and Knuckles and proving that Sonic was a true movie star. Today on June 10, 2025, Sonic the Hedgehog is more popular than ever. He is a character who has stood the test of time. He started as Sega's answer to Mario, a cool dude with a need for speed. He became a 90s icon, a star of games, TV, and comics. He faced challenges as gaming changed, but he never gave up. Now he is a global superstar, loved by old fans who grew up with him and new fans who discovered him through his movies and modern games. Sonic represents speed, freedom, and an unstoppable spirit that never quits. That's why, after all these years, the blue blur is still running straight into our hearts.